Three. Good morning, everyone. We are so excited to come to you this morning. We have our Thoughtful Thursday show, and we have a wonderful guest, absolutely wonderful guest, Karen Stultz. Am I saying that right, Karen?
You are perfect. That is perfect.
I'm perfect, y'all. Y'all remember that. You remember that, okay? Keith, did you hear that? I'm perfect. Okay, enough of that. Barbara and I are so excited to bring her to you so that she can tell us all the wonderful stuff she does. She does such cool stuff. So, Karen, I'm going to let you just jump in and tell them a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Well, thank you. I could go on for hours there. You're leaving me wide open, Carol.
Well, we'll be going, and then you'll see the cane come in and pull her off stage.
Yeah, I'm a reformed people pleaser and self-doubter turned online mind flow mentor for online coaches and transformational coaches so that they can get rid of those mental blocks that are keeping them from achieving the 6+ figure goal. Mind you, not a business coach, but a mentor that helps clear the mindset blocks with something that I've created called Heart Energy Techniques. And my business is the Awesome Life Success System, where we will help you create a roadmap to your awesome life success. I also have my Awesome Life podcast. So
when is that show? When is your podcast on? Tell them where to find
my podcast is on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And you can find that at KarenStultz.com podcast.
Cool. Okay.
Pretty simple.
Yeah. I've been on that podcast. It was very fun.
Well, I wanted to go on that podcast, but she hadn't invited me.
Wait a minute. I sent out an invitation to you and you said yes.
I know, but that was it. Choose me.
And of course, Barbara's a fantastic guest. I need to have you come back again.
Yes, I'd love to. It was just, when you're talking to like-minded people.
Yes.
And because then the conversation just flows, you have fun. I've listened to some podcasts where that it's all scripted. It's like they're reading cue cards.
Or they don't like each other in real life.
And they don't like each other in real life.
Exactly. And that's why I always meet with people before I invite them to be on my podcast, because in my world, fun is number one. Awareness and allowing change of perspective, change of attitude, opening up the blocks that are keeping us from enjoying that flow of energy and awesome life, and having fun. Those are things that we should be doing each and every day, multiple times a day. So that is what the Awesome Life Success System is about, being able to open up that flow so that you can be healthy, that you can have that wellness, which you ladies know so much about, that wellness part of having good nutrition. And that is essential, as well as your environment. Do you like your environment? Do you enjoy the people that you're hanging out with? Your mental and physical environment is a huge thing. Whenever I see something getting not fun, I set about saying, okay, look at that pile of papers that you've been ignoring for days. It's time to go through them. And invariably, as soon as I start going through them and pitching stuff that is no longer relevant or transferring it to where it's supposed to go, it's like, hey, I feel better. This is so good.
Right.
So environment, mental and physical. then of course, spirituality. You know, we have energy all around us. May as well take advantage of it.
Well, we are energy.
We are energy.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then we have organization, something I'm working on for the rest of my life, I swear, but it's coming. And each day it's even better, and creating that organization one baby step at a time. And then, of course, money. We
Right.
have to have money in order to make that difference in the world.
Yes.
We need to be able to ask for that money so that we can make a bigger difference in the world. I was just speaking to someone today who was talking to a newbie coach for a potential podcast, and the newbie coach was trying to sell, a $2,000 product, which in the newbie coaches, that was a big deal. That was stretching it, right?
A little pricey there.
But he said, do you really know what it would take for me to accept that kind of money? And the newbie coach said, oh, it's so doable, $10,000 months. It's so doable. And the guy said, yeah, I would have to reduce my income tenfold to get to the 10,000 a month. I charge 50,000 for 7 days. 7 days.
But you're not a newbie coach. I've run into newbie coaches that shouldn't be charging 200.
Yeah, well, that's true
week.
too.
Yeah.
That's true too.
That's where my mind was.
Yeah.
I definitely believe a worker's worthy of their hire. And when they know what they're doing,
Right.
when they do, oh yeah, the price is irrelevant. It's like good nutritional products. You can pay now, or you can pay later with your health.
Exactly.
You can be healthy now, or you can have hospital bills where even if you've got great insurance, your copay can bankrupt you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So
Same
let's
thing
take
with
a
the
look at
coaching.
the wellness part of it. Absolutely. It's so important. If you do not have your health, you can have all the money in the
Right.
world.
That's right. That's right.
It's not worth anything, right?
Yeah.
So, thank you for having me, lovely ladies. This is so much fun.
It is. Love having you.
Okay.
Just so y'all know, Karen and I visited the other day, and we visited for over an hour and a half. just on a call. We met on an event that Barbara and I do, the Diamond Perspectives and
Perspectives.
Did I say it wrong? Perspectives.
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 Diamond Perspectives. And anyway, and then
And that's so much fun too. And it's one of the few things that I do that is outside my boundaries. Okay. Have to break those boundaries, just not often. So for this particular program, I have a boundary of 6 p.m. Eastern time. I cut off everything with clients, with podcasts, with anything. And yet, upon occasion, I break that. And this is one of those special times that I love breaking that boundary, is to be in the Diamond Perspective panel. It's so much fun.
But the panel's so much fun. Don't you feel that it feeds you more than drains you?
Exactly. Exactly.
We receive so much more than what we give. And so those kind of breaking the boundaries are good for you.
Absolutely. And again, I believe in the fun. I more than believe, I require it. And when it no longer becomes fun, then we make a change. That's all.
Right.
We just make a change.
Yeah.
It's okay.
You just say, and you can just reevaluate things.
Yeah.
Just because you're doing it now does not mean that it's cut in stone. And that's what I find so often. People say, well, I have to do it. Well, why? Well, because so-and-so is like, yeah, but are you enjoying it?
But I
Or
always
or are
have.
you doing it for someone else?
And that's the key. If you're doing it for someone else, let's rethink that. And if you're doing it for you, but you're not enjoying it, let's find a way to shift that mindset so that you can enjoy it and create a mind flow, an energy flow that opens up. And for me, I always like to go to my my dishes. I rather than using the dishwasher at night for just 2 people, I would wash all dishes by hand, and I use my dishwasher as a drainer. So it was an ideal situation. Howsoever, I really don't like doing dishes. That is not anything that I really enjoy doing. So how can I change this so it can be fun? Well, I can turn on some music and dance while I'm doing the dishes. Or I can just keep in mind my big why. And that is the key, to keep in mind your big why. Why are you doing what you're doing? What is the intention behind this? And my intention, my big why, was to come down the stairs in the morning and see a clean kitchen. So I started off my day right. So this was worth it. Absolutely worth doing the dishes at night.
Well, and that is a real key. That is a real key to people's happiness, is to fix their surroundings. If you don't like something, fix it. And it doesn't have to be expensive. I mean, if you don't like the color of a room, paint is inexpensive. Even if all you can buy is paint for one wall. Well, it's gotten more expensive, but overall, you don't have to move. You can, my thing is, the mail oftentimes when I'm really busy piles up on one end of the table, the end Barbara sits on. And I'll go over there and all of a sudden there's this pile of mail. I'm like, oh, I need to go through the mail. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't, but I can feel it when I don't. And my husband can feel it. When I'll go through and just take the day and clean and dust and vacuum and stuff, he goes, he'll walk in and say, this feels so good, and it wasn't that it was filthy before, but there's a freshness, there's a lightness. And so
the organization.
Yeah. And no matter what's going on in your life, there may be things you need to clean up. In fact, at the beginning of the year, Barbara and I did kind of a 2 or 3 times on our Monday motivation on clutter. Clutter can affect you, how it can mess up your thought processes and how you live, and you start spiraling down. And that's one of the things I talk about a lot. And a lot of it is your mouth, and it's changing your attitude, like you were talking about. It's like, okay, I don't mind dancing and doing the dishes. This is kind of fun, as opposed to, oh my God, I've got to go in there and do those dishes or those D dishes. And so it's a whole, it's your outlook, it's your mindset, it's your mouth. Your mouth your mouth can be your biggest friend or your biggest enemy, because that sets into motion. And while in scripture, the tongue is a little being,
is the rudder,
a little member that is a rudder that guides your whole life. So, if you don't like where you're going, check the rudder.
There you go. Or check your thoughts. Notice where your thoughts are going, because in actuality, our subconscious is here to help us, to love us, to help us succeed. That's what our subconscious does. And too many people tell me, well, if I could just get rid of my subconscious, I'd be a whole lot better off. No. Your subconscious is here to help you. And what needs to happen is to help the subconscious understand what is more important. And that's what it's what is important to you. And the subconscious only knows pictures and feelings. That's what thoughts are the pictures and the feelings. And the voice doesn't hold any water to speak of. But if you are thinking, I'm no good, I didn't remember I did that so badly.
Yeah,
Well,
but
what is
when
that?
you think it and then you speak it, there's where it's kind of
And
the
that-
power twins. The
There
power
is
twins.
twins, but
Yeah.
that is, you notice the feeling that you have when you speak it,
Yeah. Yeah.
even when you think it, those words.
Yeah.
Even-
Can I share something I posted earlier today on a thing? Barbara's probably seen it. It says, if you have a negative thought pop into your head this week, do 5 squats. You'll either start focusing on more positive thoughts, more positive things, or you'll have a nice toned butt. Happy squatting.
I
I loved it.
Isn't that great?
That is great.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it.
We have one of our researchers, his name is Jim, and he says, people, you have to remember that we have 37.2 billion cells in our bodies. And every one of them is listening to your thoughts.
Amen.
And it's absolutely the truth.
Yep.
It's absolutely the truth. Every one of your cells is listening to your thoughts. So and one of the statistics that I just learned a couple of weeks ago was that over 50% of people wake up in the morning feeling grumpy.
Mm.
The
That's
thing
sad.
is, they can change that in the first 17 seconds.
Mhm.
Mhm.
You sure can.
You can change it by going directly into gratitude. Thank you, Lord, for this beautiful day. Thank you that I have breath in my lungs. I have, eyes to see and ears to hear and feet to walk on, and then go on. And one of the things too they said is make your bed.
Mhm. Yeah. Successful
make
people
your
tend
bed.
to make their beds right away.
I-
Successful people.
That was the graduation commencement speech at the Air Force Academy one year, when the colonel said, all right, you all are graduating here, congratulations. And my advice to you is every morning, make your bed as soon as you get out of it. And my daughter has taken that to heart.
Mhm.
I don't think she even sleeps under the covers. And it's like, my son-in-law was here. He said, yeah, it was a little cold last night. I said, did you get under the covers? Oh, no, your daughter won't let me get under the covers. I get under the blankety blank covers. I have plenty of blankets and I will be happy to give you blankets, but that's,
I had a son that would do that so he wouldn't have to make his bed.
yeah. And
Mhm.
I'm not sure that my mother-in-law didn't do that, but I did. But my husband makes the best bed. So we have come to an agreement. I will do the dishes and I will do other things, but he makes a great bed so that when I get in there at night, everything is nice and smooth and tight and wonderful.
Mhm.
Therefore, yeah, we make the agreement. You make the bed, darling.
And
And-
and it doesn't matter who does it,
Yeah.
as long as it's all not one person, but that it is an agreement.
Yeah.
It's teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work, whether it's a marriage, a group of people, a classroom, it doesn't matter as long as there's agreement.
That's the key. It's communication
Mhm.
and some sort of understanding and working together. That's what it's all about. And yeah, I do make the bed. If he goes out fishing early in the morning, I know full well that he's not going to come home and want to make the bed. So I make the bed. And that's fine. And I love that the choice that you talked about, Barb, changing the way you are and the gratitude. And for me, it's simply, okay, I'm feeling yucky. I'm feeling grumpy.
Mhm.
And it is a choice of what would we like? Do we want to continue feeling yucky and feeling grumpy?
Exactly.
Or do we want to change that attitude and create a new intention? So my intention each day is to have fun and enjoy and make a difference to all of the people I am with. And if I am grumpy, I'm not making a positive difference in
Nope.
people's lives.
Yeah. You know, and sometimes it can be just something little. Like one of the things that I have done, and I have a playlist on my radio, on my phone. And so every once in a while, I'll just put it on random. And so I'll be just doing praise, praise and worship. I'll be doing opera. And then all of a sudden, Chubby Checker and the Twist comes on. And just that surprise of, oh, the twist. And you know what? I automatically start moving to it. That's my go-to song if I'm feeling slightly off. Because when you can get your body moving, like our CEO, he says, people, change your state. If you are not feeling great, change it physically.
Yes.
Physically change your state. And so every once in a while, it's like, oh, brother, okay, Barbara, it's time to twist. And it'll just randomly come on. But it really does make a difference.
Yeah, it really, truly does. And I don't have a playlist on my phone, but I know that if I'm really feeling down for whatever reason, I can go to YouTube and turn on something that is uplifting somewhere along.
Inspiring, or Jim Rohn. If you want to do something business, Jim Rohn, he's
not inspiring. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about fun, Chubby Checker.
Fun, yes, right.
Yes, goodbye. Whatever. I'm on the road again, or something. Some music that will help you move that body. And when you move that body, that automatically starts opening up that energy that we all are, and start it flowing. So we can go up that one level instead of continuing to spiral down. We can start moving up that one level at a time. And
right,
it's not hard. No. It's just doing it.
It's just making a decision.
It's making the decision that this is not the way that you want to spend the rest of your day or your life.
Or the rest of your hour. Because sometimes things will happen and it's like, okay, yeah. And then 5 minutes later, it starts to come back. It's like, yeah, no, I've given that up. But sometimes 5 minutes later, it's, yeah, no, I've given that up. I'm given that up. Because our saboteurs, those voices in our heads, they don't want to leave us alone sometimes. And they want to get you. And like for me, it's like I just was hijacked into this. Who was that screaming Mimi that just ran by?
Well,
because we all have that side of us.
We do. We absolutely do.
And have that side of us.
And that is exactly what we all do. We just say, no, this is not acceptable, and we want to make that change. So step to the right. Step to the left. Get out of here.
Do the hokey pokey and turn yourself around.
Well, yeah.
I'm sorry. That's where my brain went.
Love it. Exactly where it is. And sometimes that is shutting down, and it is actually that pops up more than twice. It's something that we need to look at.
That's right.
And look at it for what it is, what it's trying to tell us, because otherwise we do get sick. And one of those things that I use is the EFT, emotional freedom technique, tapping.
Yeah.
And that is permission, which sometimes we have, and I need permission. I was brought up to be a good girl, so I need permission to do something. And being able to tap, verbalize what keeps popping into my head and what I would like to have differently, but acknowledging it, that is a lot more powerful than just shutting it down. I don't want you here, go away.
Right.
It's all right. I see you here. I don't like you. I don't want you here. You are not the thing that I need at the moment. And I don't know why you're here. So I'm taking the next 3 minutes. I'm not going to give you more than 3 minutes. I'm taking the next 3.
Did we lose Karen?
No, she's still moving, but I'm not hearing her now.
Okay, we're not hearing you, Karen. There has been a bit of interference.
Mm-hmm. There has.
Hang on.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, while she's getting her sound fixed, one thing we need to know is there are so many ways to change your state. Is your nutrition in good condition? Is your mindset in good condition? There are coaches. We talked this morning about coaches. I mean, here are 3 coaches here that do similar things, but very different things. And you need a coach. I don't care where you are in life. More and more people are realizing they need a coach. If you're here and you desire to be here, I don't care if it's financially, maritally, or relationship wise, weight, health, all of those things. It doesn't matter where you are. If you are not where you want to be, you need to find a coach. So reach out, because Barbara and I interview different coaches all the time. Karen knows different coaches. We were all on that panel, and I think everybody there was a coach of some kind. And we're all similar, we're all different. And so it is very, very important. You know, in days past, they called them a mentor, or they called them, you know, back in the day when I was a kid, it was like the pastor or the teacher, or they didn't even use the word mentor in my circles. So, you know, find somebody that can lead the way and help you get to where you need to go. And there's so many different modalities to do it. This one,
so many tools.
Cool. Yeah, that lots and lots of tools to get where you need to go. So don't, and you know, don't let pricing scare you. Don't let any of the areas scare you, because they all have their value. Okay, they all have their value. So we told some people the other day, you know, book a chat. See if you like who you're looking at working with. If you don't like them, don't hire them. I mean, you're exactly the HR person for your life. So don't think, well, this is the only person that does it, and so says they're good, so I have to work with them. I really hate them on the side, but I have to work with them. No, you find somebody that you just really mesh with, because that's when it's going to work. That's when it's going to happen for you. So don't try to force the relationship. And that's why do you do a free chat, Karen?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Absolutely. So just schedule a time. We have a 30-minute chat to find out if indeed we do connect, because as you were saying, Carol and Barb, that you don't know who you connect with. Everybody is out there, and we all have our different styles. We have our different resonance. We have our different philosophies, and what is right for you is the best for you.
Mhm.
And there's
Right.
someone out there. And honestly, don't feel badly because we have 80 billion people in the world. There is no competition. Come on. There is no competition. There shouldn't be. Anyway, some people seem to think there is, but no.
No.
It is a case of finding the right resource for you so that you can feel better about yourself, about your business, about your love
Right.
life, about your health.
Yeah. Well, and the world is frequency. Okay. It is
Right.
frequency. And so I don't know how many musicians I have out there, but when you're tuning an orchestra, a band, whatever, you'll have it and it'll be off and it'll be going, "Rah, rah, rah, rah," and then finally it just comes in. It's just like, and it's even. Anybody who's not a musician knows what bad music sounds like when it's just all the way over, just a cacophony of yuck. That's when it's not in tune. So know that, keep looking. You'll find that person that resonates with you. And there may be times you get off. I mean, there's times Barbara and I get off and we have to go, wait a minute. Okay, let's talk about this.
Mhm.
But those are few and far between when you
Right.
resonate with the person. So,
Well, I think too, it's being open enough to recognize that there might be something there
mhm,
and allowing that possibility.
yes.
And if indeed it is a possibility, maybe we can talk and find a rectifying way.
Mhm.
On the other hand, it could be your problem.
That's what I was going to say. You could be the one out of tune.
It could be
Right.
your problem. And you are hearing it. But again, if you are open and allowing, aware and allowing is the A in awesome. And if you are going to be open and allow and aware, you need to be aware of yourself, your actions, your part in creating this communication disrupt.
Right. Right.
Exactly.
And sometimes I remember, I know I've told this story before and Carol has heard it, but one time my sister and I, we were at each other. We were kind of nattering at each other a little bit, and it was getting a little bit more heated. And then all of a sudden we were sitting in the back seat of the car, and her husband and another friend were sitting in the front seat, just kind of listening to us getting a little bit more heated. And then all of a sudden, Liz looked at each other and we just stood there. And then we just burst out laughing because we realized in that second, because both of us have done a bit of personal development, that we realized that we were both saying exactly the same thing. We were just coming from completely different directions and paradigms. And the men just laughed. They said, "Oh, you two." But in that moment, but it took that moment to say, "Hey, you know what's going on here?" And then of course, when we stopped and listened to each other, we realized we were saying pretty much the same thing. We were just coming from two different directions.
That's it.
And we laughed so hard. But that's what happens so often in relationships and even within ourselves. You're nattering at yourself, and it's like all of a sudden it hits you. It's like, Barb, what are you doing? Like what's behind this? Why is this coming up? Exactly what you were saying. So it's like, oh, brother, for heaven's sakes, Barbara, settle down.
So Karen, how can people get a hold of you? Let's let them know how to get a hold of you in case they want to have a chat and see if you're a good fit.
I would love to I love talking to people. You might not have noticed that, but I love talking to people. And so, yeah, contact me at KarenStultz.com/let's talk. Schedule a time or direct message me on Facebook, Karen J. Stultz. And I would love to connect with you, and who knows, maybe we can be very good friends, as these wonderful ladies have become very good friends of mine.
Well, thank you so much. It was wonderful having you on today. just, it's great. We thank you for coming on and bringing value to our show. And we want to thank all our listeners. Put your questions and your comments in the places to put them, whether you're seeing this on YouTube or Facebook or wherever, and reach out if you have anything you want us to cover. If you have any questions we haven't covered, just reach out and let us know what you're thinking. And please share this with your friends.
Yeah.
So for today, for Thoughtful Thursdays, remember to be very thoughtful, very circumspect, and reach out for help. So we will see y'all. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.